One of the biggest political stories for Oregon in 2015 was implementing our state legalizes recreational marijuana and really sets up a new legal industry for our state. But there are tensions with the federal law, which still outlaws pot. In fact, there's some confusion now about whether the post office can even mail newspapers with ads for marijuana. Say, for instance, if a pot shop was to buy an ad, what's being done to figure all this out? Because USPS isn't supposed to send that out.
What we have to decide is, with marijuana essentially being something that the states are given the leading role in terms of regulation and overseeing, when the voters of a state actually go out and they're held accountable, they vote for something, then it seems to me that the federal government ought to step in and not overturn the will of Oregon voters or state voters. And so we have been up against this with respect to banking. We've been up against it with respect to taxes. Now we are up against it with respect to the Postal Service and mailings. But for me, you can debate all you want whether or not you think marijuana ought to be legal. Oregon voters have decided that question now. And I have consistently respected Oregon voters. For example, on our Death with Dignity law, the House of Representatives voted to get rid of it in Washington, D.C. I filibustered to protect it, and I said, I'm not going to let the will of Oregon voters be tossed in the trash can. That is still my position with respect to banking and taxes and the Postal Service and marijuana. I'm going to do everything I can to carry out the will of Oregon voters.